welcome back from the break. Looks like Jamie Viela's been dealt sixes and he's not at the table. Okay, we have some company in the booth tonight. Some poker royalty. None other than Mr. Michael Holden. How's it, Mikey?
Oh, how are you, Gary? It's nice to be here. I see you got a very nice setup, yeah? Didn't realize it looks like it's when you watch it on the streaming, you don't expect such a big setup in the background, you know?
Yeah, well, this is where all the magic happens. I'm just the one who talks a lot of BS on the screen. These guys on the right here is whether they make the magic happen, eh?
No, great. I mean, I can see they add it properly, yeah? And yeah, so you got a bird's eye view of everything, eh?
Indeed, I have. Just check, Mike, for security reasons. You have switched your telephone off and you've given it to me.
Yes, I have done that.
Thank you very much. And that's standard operational practice. We can't have any telephones in here because obviously we don't want to be accused of cheating or anything.
Yes.
Okay, so we're live. We're back here at Carnival City in Brakpan, Gauteng Province, the Republic of South Africa. This is your Grand Slam event, 40k the buy-in. And our feature table, Ahmed Karim has called here with King, Queen off, 600. Kevin Khalil's come along for the ride. JP Oakes has raised it up with the pocket sevens, as the pros say. Sevens is always coming. Clive Kikia to act in the big blinds. And that's Clive with the cricket ball. He'll be familiar to many of you. 900 to call. Ahmed Karim, center of picture, top of your picture. And that's a call. Kevin calls. And Queen 8, 3, 2 diamonds. So two of our players hit the Queen. Yeah. Ahmed hits the Queen and Kevin.
Yeah, Ahmed got the better of that.
Run good, Karim. Good old Ahmed. He runs so well.
Yeah,
nice
great player. And Kevin, obviously, years and years of experience.
Yeah, so as you can see there, Ahmed has bet 3.2k. And Kevy's come along for the ride. Oh, he's raised it up. Wow. So Ahmed has got a call here.
Kevin actually Kevin's hit two pair there on that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Queen 8, hence the reason the raise has come.
Yes. I don't know if Ahmed can get off this so easily.
And it's lovely to watch these guys deep in thought. And Ahmed will know Kevin can be tricky as well. Kevin's been around a long time. At what price a fold from Ahmed?
I think a flat call here would be probably the worst thing to possibly do because he's going to have no information where he sits. And at this stage, I think rather early stage, repop and then know exactly where you are.
I think he's just shoved the baby here. He's all in. That's asking Kevin the question. It's a call.
Problem.
Snap call. And the dealer will bring the cards to the flop box. We'll take an overhead shot so we get a good view of what's going on here. And basically, kings are the only things that's going to help Ahmed here. Ahmed isn't the all-in player. Looks like he's covered here. And indeed, we lose Ahmed from the table.
Voted it up as well. Just to
just to rub it in. So Kevin will be counting those chips. Ahmed will leave us. And there'll be a balancing of tables. I think there's 20 players in now, Mike. So I think we're running...
yeah, I'm sure you'll get close to... I'm sure you'll get another 5-6 players because this tournament's a very deep tournament. And tomorrow, guys can come in still and buy in with pretty much so much play in this tournament. It's...
Yeah, I think tomorrow is... day 2 starts at 1 p.m. Late registration is to level 11. We're only playing 5 levels tonight, so we're on level 4 now.
No, it's pretty much nothing in it. I mean,
level 5, and then there's another, look at that, 6 levels tomorrow to enter.
Yeah, and I mean, your starting stack
150
is 150. I think the blind levels, when they finish tonight, if I'm correct, looks like it's 400, 800.
Yeah, 400, 800 with 800 big blind ante.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, there's so much play. I mean, anybody that wants to come in tomorrow, it's pretty much just the same as starting tonight.
Indeed. So there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Get your butt down here tomorrow. Get 40k across the top of the table and try your arm against the big boys of South African poker. Okay, so we're on to We've got hand 102 here, but it's hand number 2, I think. We've got a hand count on the feature table that runs over from our last tournament. We had the one life on here.
Yes, yes.
So we're going to call this hand number 2. Makes it easier for me. JP Oaks 10-4 suited in the cutoff. And JP, what a great player for an amateur, huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Takes the game seriously. Has very good posture in the game and very hard to get a read on. Plays every hand the same. So you know, one of the few players that has any reads that I've come across anyway.
So JP's pulled a little bit of a move, raised it up to 1.5 in the cutoff. He's already got Henny on the button to fold, so just the blinds to get through here. This was folded around to him.
Yeah, and
so
to get Henny to fold, you know, that's already like half the hands won already. You know?
Looks like Clive has called it off, and Jamie's valued in the big. So 3 to the flop here, 2-2, Jack 4, and 10-4. So Clive is marginally ahead here. And there we go. Jamie picks up a Jack there.
You know, it's pretty much this. I think so self-explanatory, and I'm sure that you're not going to get too much action.
No.
Jamie plays this one.
So we're looking. There's a check and a check. So mandatory continuation here for JP, I think. Let's check back round to him. So limps back around, and he's got to tell the story. He's got to make the story make sense.
And he's got to draw it.
And I think that's 2 folds.
Got to draw it.
And there you go.
Jamie in the big blind there, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie, that's what Jamie was doing. And of course, continuation bet. Both of these guys kind of whiffed it, apart from Jamie with his Jack rubbish, and he decided to get out of the way. So Haggai is our under the gun player.
Also a very good player. Nice thinker. His bet sizing's always quite good.
That's Haggai, bottom left of your screen with his phone in his hand. Obviously didn't get the message.
Are the players also on ladder? Their phones on the table?
No, not at all, the feature table.
I see there's...
No, we're going to get David to come across and just reissue the warning. It affects our technology, and also, you know, one of the reasons I took your phone off you is because of that cheating scandal in America, where the guy had an accomplice sitting exactly where you are and sending messages on the table. That's how he was winning.
1,000,000%. And I mean, you know, the transparency in the game is very important. And it's everything, and your integrity. And obviously, you know, even if there's no cheating going on, it leaves people, you know, a little bit dubious.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and JP's woken up with a hand here. Got the 2 snowmen here.
Hijack position. Henny looking quite interesting in what he's going to do here, so I'd like to actually see. I wonder what Henny's got there, because he looks quite.
Well, you'll know if Henny's got something because he'll put 4 chips on the back of his cards.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, you've noticed something.
So
there.
let's watch. Here we go.
Okay.
Henny will put his cards down. He'll pick up 4 chips. Nope. No, he has nothing. If he has something, the 4 chips go on the back of the cards.
I don't think he had actually seen them yet.
Clive kick here with the cricket ball here, and Clive will on the button in position like this hand. He shows a propensity to play hands like this, and he's got 2 overs. He's not to know that against the Razor, JP. But certainly fancy a flat and a come along here, and indeed he does. Jamie gets out of the way. Round to Kevin. Kevin with the 3s and the big blind. I like a flat here. Let's have a little bit of set mining. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely flat, yeah. I don't personally like the flat call of Clive's. King Jack the rookie hand, you know, just once there's a raise, it just opens up so many doors to cards that have got you totally dominated. But I know that Clive likes to pick those type of spots, and you know, obviously he's looking to hit the flop dead on, or otherwise he'll probably get out.
I think you're right. We've got a new player join the table, Mjpt.
Oh, great. Best lady player in South Africa by no means. She's definitely a great player, and I love her style.
Yeah, so look, Clive is
3-bet, eh?
There's 3-bet this. You were right. He didn't like the flat there.
Okay,
so JPO says 2.2 to call here. And I think he's just going to go set mine in here.
Snap, yeah. Both of them, I think, will just...
So that's a call from JP. The guys are just uploading the Walls details to the computer, hence the reason the software's standing still.
So JP was the original raise, if I'm right, and then a 3-bet and then a flat call by Kevin. Is that correct?
Looks that way.
Was Kevin?
No, JP's 4-betted to 12k.
Sure, Kevin's gone.
Kevin folds.
Okay, great fold, Kevin.
Nice read by JP there, huh?
Yeah.
Nice read.
And a nice aggressive start to the tournament.
Indeed. And Noel has joined us there.
Yeah, lovely woman and great poker player, as I was saying.
And she'll sit out the first hand. She's in the small blind.
Her and her husband, lovely people, and obviously, you know, both poker enthusiasts, although I think Noel takes the center stage when it comes to the poker between the two of them, and he allows that as he has a business to run. He's
Indeed,
quite
he
a
does,
busy guy.
Indeed. So our under-the-gun player will be JP, who's been very active since we sat down. Ace-4 suited. And I reckon he'll fold this.
Some nice hands.
I think he'll fold this. Early position, have a rest. Sick of counting chips.
Yeah, I think I think he'll call with the suited cards. I think, you know, always opting to flop the nut flush.
And you're right, absolutely right. Well done, Mikey. So Henny, we haven't heard from Henny yet. There you go, the 4 chips on the back of the cards.
These are great looking cards for Henny. You know, Ace 8.
And that was a little dig from Mikey there.
I love Henny. You know,
Henny and I,
it's players like Henny that you know, you never know where you are.
Yeah,
and that's his biggest attribute.
And that was a call by Clive and a snap call by Jamie.
Gee whiz.
And Jamie snapped that he couldn't get his money in quick enough.
Yeah, in a very bad way, Jamie, because he obviously on the worst side of the flush draw there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And this could be a very action
walk
and Hagar. This might be a.
Guga's got a hand here, right?
I think Guga's gonna. I say Guga's gonna 3-bet this quite strongly.
That's his style. That is his style.
That's his style, and I think at this stage he realizes with all the flats, he's pretty good, and he knows that there's going to be an overcard or two after the flop if he doesn't hit his set. So,
wow, what do we know about poker? That's why he's out there, right?
He's the only flat called, eh? Sure.
Well, one of his outs is sitting in Kevin Khalil's hand. So, and he calls it off.
This is a real action pot.
So 6 players to the flop. I don't often say that, Mike, I can assure you.
Sure.
6, Queen 7.
Yeah, Jamie got the best of this one.
For sure, the Queen.
And actually, hard to believe that there wasn't more of a combination of hitting in that flop. He only hit the Queen.
Jamie's going to fire here. Looks like 10 grand. Yeah, indeed it is. 10,000. Kevin will get out of the way very quickly. And Googs will be thinking, bloody hell, I wish I'd raise this get out of the way. And fold. Henny's going to fold, takes the 4 off the back of his cards. Clive gets rid of it, and Jamie just keeps his rep intact and shows the Queen. And Kevin is the early chip leader here with 264, and then took out Ahmed. I'm sure Ahmed will have rebought by now. The wall comes in with 36,000, but of course it's so deep. These numbers mean very little at the moment.
Correct. Now, well, must have run on the earlier table that she was on. She must have run into a hand or two that she lost.
Oh, for sure.
But she's such a strong player. You don't have any doubt that she'll
bounce back for sure.
Bounce back from there. Suited low cards, I think. Well, they got the chips on Ennis.
That's predicted.
Chips on Ennis.
Yeah. Always 4, huh? Always 4. Yeah.
It's a call. Suited low cards, his favourite. Flava wants him getting involved here.
Fold.
Well, I'm sure he'll also fold. She's prepared to see a flopping position.
And Kevin with the 8-5 of spades here. He's a bit flush with chips as well, so he's going to float a little bit.
He's been running his way. He's just won the Super Satellite. Him and Cliff Safi. Actually.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Satellites.
So he's just satellited in, Kevin, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And Kevin is actually the owner of about 6 Monsterjam trophies. Do you know that?
Yeah, no,
he's got a
done
stack full of
exceptionally
them.
well with Monsterjam.
Yeah, he's done very, very well.
It's actually a lovely final table, this.
Feature table, not final
feature,
yet.
I mean
Yeah.
feature table.
I often do that. I often call it.
Yeah.
So an 8 for Kevin, a 7 for Henny, and Noel bets out.
She's got the up and down straight.
Yeah.
So she's got.
She has rights. She has rights, as I say.
Got the backdoor flush draw.
So Henny checks. Noel bets 8. Kevin to call is called with top pair and a straight draw, obviously. Jack's not much of a help to either player.
No.
Pair of 8 still ahead here. Noel's going to continue the story. 12,000 is the bet. Kevin's coming along. And board pairs up. Noel needs to bet heavy there to get rid of Kevin, I think. Kevin's getting a bit sticky with his hands. And looks like 15, maybe a bit more. That's a big bet, 33.
Bet 33 into a 48 pot, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's to make Kevin think.
I don't think Kevin can call this, honestly. It looks like he is.
He does a non-believer.
Sure, non-believer. Good size bet from Noel. Unfortunately, yeah, non-believer there. Either they have the top pair on the flop, but I
And the
thought
up hand.
sorry, yeah, and the up and down. I thought he was probably more into the hand with the up and down. I didn't think on the 6.
And the rich get richer, eh?
Yep.
So starting stack 150. That's Kevy doubled his starting stack now, just about. He's up to 300 nearly.
And he's only really just started because they finished the Super Satellite
Yeah, so
half an hour ago.
So a bit of run good there.
So yeah, he's off to an immediate. He started very well.
But you can't win it on weight day 1, Mike, eh?
Well, this is it.
You can build foundations.
Unfortunately, I think, in hindsight, looking that the board did pair on the river, and she either had it or she didn't. So in hindsight, it wasn't a bad call. Seeing that things are going his way, Kevin's at the moment, and
you said that before the hand as well,
yeah.
so you're absolutely right. So Clive's under the gun, and he's folded already. Round to Jamie Viella, they're in the muck. The Wells 9-6 in the muck. Kevy with the ace-3 in the cutoff. Might try and... I said to him, he looks like an Ewok. He said, what's an Ewok? I said, look it up. So I'm waiting for the results of that.
He was complaining. He was saying earlier that the aircon so bad he had to go and buy a jacket to put it on because the aircon on the one table blows right directly down on you. And
he was catching a draft, unfortunately.
Getting a bit of a draft, yeah.
So the small bind here is JP. There's been a bit of chatter with Henny already.
Let's see if those chips come out. Yeah.
There you go. He's going to play this one. The option with Henny, 6-4 in the big blind.
They got each other's out at this stage, eh?
Yeah, battle of the baldies there, eh?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
So he's checked it. And it looks like the best of it with JP. 2 overs, so those would be scare cards.
Sure.
It'll be a check this.
I think so.
Unless somebody decides they want to have a shot at it. And JP.
JP's playing an aggressive game, which is good.
No, Henny's looking for sympathy from the table.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? And then he's just going to get a shot of it. And your big blind's going to the right. And JP opens up his cards. Got to keep his rep in the gutter so he gets some pay later. JP 71,000, so he's took a couple of hits. The wall down there as well. Clive Kick here on 113, and everybody else is above starting stack from Jamie upwards, 170 plus. And Jamie, talking to Jamie, he's in the under the gun, so Clive will be big blind, Henny in the small.
JP on the button.
Yep.
This is where, you know, JP's he's been quite aggressive with the. So now we got him on the button. Let's see how much more aggressive he can get, because he's been out of position and he's been playing it quite strong. So on the button, if there's any weakness, I have no doubt that he's going to.
And you know,
continue.
I say it quite often, but Clive doesn't like giving up his big blind easy either.
No, not at all.
And I love Clive to death, so he knows I'm not criticising. It's just he likes to defend his big blinds.
Sure.
So Googs, Haggai.
You'll get rid of that.
In the cutoff. He's not getting too excited.
There we go, 8-5.
JP's just giving some change out. That wasn't a bet, folks, at home.
Okay.
8-5 offsuit on the button.
I think he'll raise this, the way that he's been playing.
And try and snag the 2 blinds. But he'll know that...
people are watching him, maybe. He's been doing it from out of position a lot, so...
What I was going to say is you'll know that Clive is can get a little bit sticky with his big blind.
It's not a hand to flat call with, though.
Oh, no.
Once it's raised, once it's...
It's raised to 1.6.
Clive straight away.
Yeah, for sure. With Jack 3, but once again, just trying to... He's just having a little defend there. And, you know, let's see.
It works, because, you know, you stop people from just raising your big blind every time.
3, ace, 10, 2 clubs on board. So Clive does flop the best of it with bottom pair. JP to continue the story, perhaps. He checks it. So
Yeah, switch positions now.
JP picks up the 8, and he won with an 8 earlier on the... I think this is just a flat here. See what the river delivers. And action on Clive. Flush gets there, but nobody was repping a flush early doors, so Clive first to act. Check, and the 8 will take it down. Look at the smug face of JP Oaks.
You know, obviously you're looking and you're seeing the cards face up, and so, you know, you can criticise hands and the way people play them and that, but it's a lot easier for us sitting on this side of the fence. But just in essence, what I did notice from there is if Clive was prepared to defend his big blind with Jack 3 off, and he hits the 3 and then checks, and then when the 8 comes and he's behind, he puts some money in. You know, that particular was a little bit of a leak there. He should have, if he was going to bet at anything, he should have bet that flop and he would have taken it down. If you're defending with Jack 3 and then you hit the 3, pretty much.
But I think you summed it up, Mike. It's easy when you sat here and you got the cards up.
Much easier when you see the other cards. But then when it was check, when the 8 came, he then bet his 3 when he was behind. So, you know, just in essence, I just think something that maybe the viewers can look at is probably either not defend with Jack 3 too often, unless you've got Clive sort of experience in it, because it works for him. And then if you do hit some part of the borders, maybe consider continuing.
Well, talking of Jack 3, Kevin Galil has just called with Jack 3.
And he's in there.
He's under the gun +1, and it's around a Henny on the button. Around a Henny on the button with the suited connectors. And Clive is a flat call here, I think.
Jack 7,
Suited cards once again, and
got him dominated.
Jamie gets out the way, and the big blind. So Clive will be first to act here in the small. 4, 6, 7.
Sure.
So Clive has got 50% of the equity in his hand with the 7s.
And then Henny obviously got the up and down.
Indeed.
And he's at the 6.
And I don't think Henny's going far. I like a bet here from Henny.
It's on the button as well, it's good position.
So Clive bet 2.3, and it's just a flat from Henny, so that was fun. Henny's studying across, so
picks up the flush draw. Unbeknown to him, Clive's got the bigger flush draw.
yeah.
So this could be interesting.
Clive's not going anywhere here.
Clive's going nowhere.
And Clive could be inclined to raise this.
Top pair and the flush draw.
Yeah, indeed. That's where I think it.
Definitely, I would imagine you'd raise this.
See the cricket balls out.
Yeah, that's his card holder, eh?
He calls it the antidote.
Okay.
But he doesn't normally play with the cricket ball.
Looks like he's considering maybe just flatting this the way
He's got flatting chips in his hand. He's decided whether or not he wants to repop it. I think he's going to repop it.
Flat wouldn't be the worst thing because you don't want to repop it and then get chipped. Oh, he's
Well, I
folding.
didn't expect that.
That
That
is
is one thing I did not expect. Top pair and a flush draw.
wow.
That is incredible. Okay.
A lot of people play with their gut intuition, and I really can't understand that fault. But I mean,
The only thing that makes sense is we picked up the wrong card on a sensor. But it doesn't happen often. So that is possible.
That does look a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's certainly not what you'd have expected from.
Not from club. I mean,
No. But you know, we're not sat out there in the heat of battle. We're sat in here,
yes.
all tucked up in our little warm, cozy little corner here.
And like I said, it's so much easier when you're seeing everyone's cards. So you know, I'm not trying to be. I'll just add a little bit of comments in, not trying to criticize anyone.
Oh no, we'll never criticise people back here. You know, it's an opinion, and you know, between Mikey and I don't know how many poker years we got between us, but I certainly think it's a significant amount. So, you know, we've earned the right to say we might have done it a different way.
Sure.
And that's how I always put it. I would do it a different way.
Sure, and
not
seeing
a
the
criticism.
cards is very, very, like I say, that's such an edge. I know how to do it.
And yeah, you know, this is like homework for us.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of schooling on other players. So looks like Henny's called. The 4 chips are out. And Clive's is getting some change there, so I assume that means he's either gonna just call or bet. Looks like a call. Jamie comes along for the ride in the small, completes, and Nawal with the options. Suspect you might just check this. Okay, so 4 to the flop.
Nice flop for Clive this time.
Yeah, Clive picks up the ace-5, which is obviously 2 pair. It checks to him. Options any, and then Clive will bet here, I'm sure. So fold from Jamie, fold from Noel, and he folds also. Flopped a monster there, huh?
Yeah, he flopped the monster, and unfortunately, there weren't even any remote sort of backup cards for anyone else to get involved there.
You see the blinds at 300, 600. Super deep, eh?
Is the ante kicked
Yeah.
in already? or
Yeah,
not?
the ante's in. Super deep, huh?
So the ante's kicked in from?
Level
Second to
level 2, yeah. So once again, so if you're tuning in for the first time, we apologise for the music and the ambient noise, but not much we can do when you're on an open casino floor. You know, the rest of the world has to get on with their business. That guy's picked up the snowman here, so under the gun, nice raise, very, very strong from him.
Raise 2,100.
So 2-1, blinds were at 600, so 3 point something X.
I think this will be a quick fall for JP. I don't think we'll speculate at that end.
Nor Henny in the hijack. this Clive got? Pocket
Oh,
sixes
pocket sixes. This could be a flat call.
or a repop. You never know. He knows Haggai. I fancy he set mining for a flatter.
Yeah, I would say so, because that was quite a nice raise. Kick off good.
So just a couple of welcomes online here. Keenan Pinar has joined us on the stream. Gordon Patterson and Babette Needling. Nice to see you all. How's it been, Babette? When are you and Graham coming to visit? Because you'll know Graham very well, I'm sure, Mikey.
Graham, I'm not quite sure which Graham.
I'm going to let you think about that for a little while. And yeah, Babette's his other half.
Check.
So that was a. We've got a flop on our hands. Sorry, Ace 3-7. So the ace will be a slow down card. Looks like Clive just checked. Option with Haggai. Kevin's already checked.
I think Hagar will continue betting here.
2.6. So the action's now with Clive.
Oh, has he checked it, Hagar? Eh?
You know, Clive, Haggai bet 2,600.
Ah, yes, I thought he might be
Raise
carrying.
10,000.
And Clive.
Clive, I think, just announced a raise here to 10,000.
Wow, nice play there. I can't see Hagar calling this.
Yeah, he's repping the ace. And you're right, Haggai gets away. He reps the ace nicely there, Clive. So good play.
That was ballsy play.
Very ballsy.
And yeah, that's what makes Clive a different player to the majority, is that he's prepared to take those stances, and actually a nice sort of re-raise to take down that pot.
So Graham, Babette's Graham is Graham Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
You're a horse racing man, of course you're going to know
I
who that
thought
is.
I saw Babette Neertling. I was looking at the surname.
Yeah, no. She goes by her maiden name,
Okay,
and Graham
yes.
goes obviously by Hawkins.
Yes, okay. No, I know Graham very well.
Yeah.
Also a lovely, good player.
He tells me he's the second best commentator at sports in South Africa, me being the first, of course.
Yes. I was starting to think the same.
I keep saying to him, he's got to get him in here. Let's double team the world, eh?
Yeah.
Gary and Graham show. So JP's got King Queen under the gun here. I must just say a big hello to my youngest son who's in London, who's just logged on.
Ah, okay.
So Chris, nice to see you. Our illustrious leader, Mr. Mark Joseph, is online. Dobbsy's online, and Jabal Chetty. And he hasn't told me whether he's recovered from his headache from his birthday yet, Jabal. It was his birthday yesterday.
Okay.
Or the day before, I think, no.
Well, happy birthday for yesterday, Jamal. And Dobbs, as you say, Dobbs is also just
Yeah,
come
Dobbs
on.
just come on as well.
And,
Probably causing trouble somewhere. There's a call by Kevy with a 9-10. So in the big blind, Jack 4 suited for Haggai, so he comes along for the ride. It just checks, so to say. So it's a limp pot. 4 ways to the flop. All a bit tame this evening.
Yeah.
2, 5, 8. And looks like the best of it's with Clive again, eh?
Yeah, Clive with a small,
Check.
with
Yeah, middle pair.
pair.
Given the pre-flop action, I mean, I was going to say a nice little bet here to scare a few people off. Kevin's kind of whiffed here. It's a long way for a straight or anything else. He's got no real back doors. They'll go in the muck.
I think so.
And also the same for Haggai. He had a stab. I mean, he'd already paid his
The
dues.
two overcards, JP should also probably fold here.
Yeah. And Clive gets that one through. Nicely done. The best hand wins. So well done, Clive. Chip cans back up on the screen. Say 75,000. They're so deep, these guys. Nothing to really worry about. the nice thing about this tournament being deep is they can play some poker, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think you and I were chatting before we came on air. You know, they're invariably a super cooler at some stage along the line with these things. You know,
Correct.
the aces, kings, or something like that's going to happen. But you know, generally, it's just a nice, solid, steady play. You know, and it's an education sitting here watching some of these players. You know.
Yeah, it's lovely to watch, and also another thing with these type of deep stack tournaments, you know, your big pocket pairs and that don't count as much because your pre-flop raises is not going to be, especially at these blind levels, and with that deep stack, you can actually only get into more trouble with them then. So there's going to be a lot of play with marginal hands, and it's going to come down to the aggression. Obviously, it always favors the cards that favor, but the overall pots, like you can see, a certain amount of the pots have been won by JP Oaks just out of sheer aggression, and then again, Clive also took that one away from my guy having the smaller pair.
So I'll just come across you there, Mikey. Kevy's got two black queens here. And what do you think on the sizing here? It's already been raised by Henny. So re-raise here, what do you think? 9,000?
Well, the position, you know, Henny under the gun and Kevin on the button.
Well, Kev's re-raised it, 3 bets, 7.5. So JP's going to get out of the way here, I'm pretty sure. And it's up to Henny just to decide whether he's going to keep telling the story and take a flop.
So. I think he'll surrender this.
Yep. And Kevin will not show the queens.
Getting some nice hands, Kevin.
And he's the big stack, so that brings a little bit of respect in itself.
Sure.
So Wei Ming Lo is online, so nice to see you, Wei.
Hey, Wei, my mate.
Nice young player, eh?
Yeah, lovely player. Him and Theo, great mates of mine and Cliff's, and two great players. Also put in a lot of study and a lot of homework into their game and improving all the time. And yeah.
You're talking about Theo Hunter, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
He's a lovely lad. I call him 13. You know why, don't you?
No.
Because he's like finished 13th in WPT,
shame, man. Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 times.
He's, you know, both of them are playing such good poker, and it's just sometimes you don't run that well, and you know, your results don't reflect how much you.
Just me, Theo's due a big win.
Yeah, definitely, both of them. They're both putting a lot of homework into the game, and you can see it. I mean, just when you play with them, because I play with them on a weekly basis, and you just notice the improvement all the time, and it's great to see. And there's a lot of players out there that are taking the game a lot more serious, and hence you can see the style of play is changing a lot more, and people are starting to bet size correctly and are not just relying on cards anymore. And
Sure.
And that element of the game we were lacking. Everybody was playing a lot of ABC poker in the country for a long time.
Sure. Just to cut back in there, Clive raises up 2.2. Kevin's 3-bet to 6.2 here with Ace Jack. And JP Oates is probably going to get out of the way. The reason we haven't got any chocolate left is because these lot are taking 10 bars each.
I just see that now. And I can see you haven't got any chocolates yet. You've got a lot of water, and you've given me a bit of Barocca to keep me awake. Kevin's getting some good hands, eh?
So it's up to Clive if he wants to call this off. Remember, he's under the gun here, Clive.
This is
Early position. And he's trying to decide now whether Kevy's at it or not.
now the problem with making this call is that you're probably behind, number one, and even if you're not behind, you're going to play the next flop, turn, and river. You're going to be playing out of position to a player that is the chip leader. So
Indeed.
you know, it's not a
I think he
bad
folds,
fold.
yeah.
Not a bad fold. Yeah, great fold.
So, after you just said that, Theo Hunter's just joined us online.
Yeah, my mate, yeah.
Sandy Kaur. Haven't seen Sandy playing for a while. I actually saw him at WPT. That's the last time I saw him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
Mark Botha. Mr. Chess.
Chess, how are you, my mate?
And Ronnie Albertzi also. Hi, Ronnie, how's it? So we got a few people watching online.
That's great.
Yeah. Last night we were sitting here with well over 100 on Facebook, about 60 on YouTube, and Twitch was also running quite high as well. So, and this is not individual people watching; they put it on their TVs, and the whole family watches. You know.
Yeah, no, it's really, it's God's stream, and you guys have done a fantastic job. And obviously, I see Jamie Viella's got ace-5 of clubs, yeah, under the gun, nice hand. So
Yeah.
he's just called. Oh, Noel's found the nines. I'm sure she'll be willing to participate in this hand. She's also called. Kevin will get off, yeah.
For sure.
Guy can't stay off that end. He hurts.
Since I've been playing poker.
On the button, I don't know.
First time ever.
Might flat call it.
You were there with us. Back to back. And then see somebody call you. This big day. I've never heard of it.
Ah, he's small blind, eh?
The first time I brought this
Small
back here.
cards.
Yeah.
Call your call. So much, so much value.
You know,
For sure. I was surprised that Noel didn't actually raise here.
Yeah, I think she was a bit early, and she realizes
Got
her
to the gun
stack
plus
size.
one, yeah.
And I think she realizes her stack size. Probably wants to not get too aggressive.
Well, 9, 10, sorry, 10 jack and then of spades and 2 of hearts.
She's still ahead with her nines.
Yeah.
But obviously, 2 overcards are going to. Ah, yeah, our chocolates arrived. Somebody must have.
Oh dear. You're a class act, matey. You're a class act. I have to switch the microphones off a minute.
right off that shove with my six. Oh, wait, today? No, there. Ah, I think you're talking about now.
Okay, so Noel wins that hand. Sorry, we had to switch the microphones off because we had the chocolate discussion with Dave De Beer. Okay, so Wei Ming Lao says, big shout out to Gary and Mike in the box. A nice 4-bet JP. So Wei's giving you a shout out there, Mikey, online.
Great stuff.
Remember, this is a half an hour delay, so they're only here in a half an hour, our responses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you know, they're hearing our initial commentary now,
Yeah,
and
you're
that
busy
4-bet.
doing it live.
Yeah,
Okay. I
so we're doing it
understand.
live, and obviously it's going out 30 minutes delayed. So you can't actually have a conversation,
Yes.
but you can, but it's 30 minutes apart. It's like having a long delay on a telephone.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Anyhow, so thanks, Wade. We appreciate your shout out. You'll get the message in half an hour, and get your butt down here. Come play some poker, brother.
Yeah, we're going to see you and Theo down here. Obviously, I'd like to see you for the main event.
For sure. Like to see you. And I'm not playing, so you've got a chance, eh? So that's the blinds going up. You'll hear David outside. So the next hand the blinds will go up. But Noel's called the 600 here. Kevin's come along and raised. That guy with the 8-6 is not going to play these, I'm pretty sure. Is he in his chair, even?
I think he's called already.
Oh, Haggai has called, yeah, you're right. JP Jack 8 is seeing value with these suited 2-gappers. So JP contemplating here, limp pot, maybe a little squeeze. Or might just fight it off. I think those are raising
He's going
chips.
for a squeeze, yeah.
Raise. 4.5.
Gets rid of the button. Gets rid of the small blind. Gets rid of the big blind. Noel's having none of it. She calls. And that'll put Kevin in. Okay, so
And the guy also, I think.
round to Haggai. 4-way to the flop. So 2 clubs,
Okay, so flush.
queen high.
Check. Check.
So Haggai's got 35% of this with his draw. King high winning, obviously, with 42% of the hand with Kevin, with his kicker. So it's checked round to JP.
Yeah, JP with JP at this stage. There's 2 flushes on the board. I mean, 2 clubs on the board. So at the end of the day, he should continue with his story. He did raise, and he could take this down. He might just get a bit of a flat call, depending on how high he raises.
He might get some resistance from Haggai.
Maybe from Hagar, but if he raises big enough, he should take it down.
And the size of his bet is designed to get rid of the crumb bums and the flush hunters. 3K. So we'll flick across to Noel.
She'll fold it.
That's a fold. Kevin to act. Kevin didn't get any of this.
He'll definitely fold.
Well, he's got the
And I
jack of
think
clubs.
Hagar might peel off. He might call you. Wouldn't be a great call, but I mean, it's not a bad call. I mean, suppose he's got to think he put the money pre-flop in, because I think it was raised to, what was it raised pre-flop to in the end?
It was 3 bets of 4.5. So the second spade on board, 2 flush straws out there. JP's jack high is ahead. I think JP checks his back. I think he's very cautious of gooks.
Yeah.
Looking down at his chips, normally that's a telltale that he's going to put some in.
Yeah, he's playing it perfectly, and he'll get a fold from goods.
50,000.
See, there's no flaw in the story he's told. He's pre-flop, flop, and turn bets.
Story makes sense.
Story makes sense. I don't see Hagar can try and put that in to catch a card, a flush on
I think if that 3 of clubs had been the 5 of clubs, and he got the up and down, straight flush and straight draw,
Yeah.
I think he re-pops him.
could be.
Yeah, but good call, Michael. You're absolutely right. And JP actually did have the best hand, although he was bluffing with it.
Correct. Yeah, bluffing with the best hand. he's played that hand start to finish very well.
So I must just say hello to Muzamil Gothi. He's up there in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Ricardo Rizzo, just down the road. How's it, buddy? Salam alaikum to Ayub Balim. And of course, not forgetting Lauren Scotts down there in Brisbane, Vegas on the Gold Coast in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Lauren obviously used to live here, but she's now back in Australia, her home country. She's back in Brisbane on the Gold Coast there, South Africa, Australia. So
Is that Lauren, Hagar's friend, Lauren?
that's the one, yeah, that's the
Okay.
one.
Gee, hello, Lauren. Nice to see you logging into the Monsterjam poker tournament.
What time would it be there now? So it's, what time is it here? It's nearly midnight, so it's about 7:30 in the morning there.
7:30. Must be
Yeah.
getting up to go for a jog.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Blinds are up, by the way, 4-8. So 800, under the gun, Kevin to call, 5-4 suited. That's the sort of hands Kevin likes. Early position here, though. We've got a lot of people to get through. Maybe a flat.
A little flatty, I think.
That guy won't be interested with King 9, I would have thought. No, they're already dead. They're gone. JP's going to have a rest from their... A rest from misbehaving, shall we say.
Yes, I don't think he's going to get out of line, yeah?
Paid nicely so far this evening. Jack 2, let's see what Henny does with these. Slide them back to the dealer.
Clark's got King 9.
We've already seen King 9 folded by one person.
Yeah, but he's definitely on the button, yeah. I would imagine he's going to...
Guy's been doing well, eh? He won that big high roller last series. And he's been down to India and won a tournament down there in Goa. So he's doing very well. I bumped into his missus earlier, actually. So she's here supporting him as always. From sunny Pietermaritzburg.
Okay.
4 weights to the flop. And Kevy's going to like that flop. Those 2 small hearts are nicely hidden there.
Yeah, and that ace is going to stop a lot of the action.
There you go. He gets a free check. Turn card brings a 6. So a little bit of backdoor straightish stuff going on there. The Noel says I'm having a jab at this with second pair. Board is paired, remember. And you've got the small and the big blind in, so they could easily have a 6 here. And Kevy's locked in with the hearts. No help on the river. Queens is good.
Check, I think.
Yeah. And Kevy says I had a flush draw. And Noel picks up her first pot for the evening on the feature table.
Last deserved pot.
So shout out to Linda Marsh, who's just joined us online. Linda from Plymouth in the southwest of the United Kingdom. And also my first cousin.
Oh, okay.
Knows nothing about poker, but loves her cuz. So
Oh,
she's,
that's great.
she logs on and listens in.
Listening to your voice at least.
Indeed. So nice to see you online, Linda. And of course, my lighty's online in London as well.
Oh, that's nice. And tell me, how do you see how many players, how many people you got on 26? Eh?
There's 25, 26 here, and then obviously we have to look at the other streams on YouTube and on Twitch.
Okay, so this is just through Facebook that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. That guy folds Jack 10, JP under the gun +1, 8-7 suited. So there's 20 odd watching on YouTube, and you know it's not 20 just 20 people. They could be watching on the TV. You know, you put it on your TV, so there'll have a little party going on there. I didn't check Twitch, but Noel's got entry to my Jack 10 club here, so she's going to come along for the ride. Kevin's probably thinking he's valued in the big blind here, but Queen 3 is a bit of a stretch, even for Kev. Oh, he's folded. So JP's 8-7 raise didn't get through. Jamie in position, and Noel decides to defend out of the small. Off to the flop, and there's the card Jamie was looking for. Ace King 7. Indeed, she has a Broadway gut shot. Pair of 7s for JP.
And Jamie, who's actually been staying out of trouble, got involved with the Ace 4 and came off the best.
Jamie's one of these guys you can sit there and wait and wait and wait. And then you can just change gears like that and start firing bullets.
Also a lovely player.
Nice guy as well.
Yeah.
Another guy loves his horses, eh?
Yeah, and he's actually...
Hatspuntano is his favourite horse, I think.
That's right, yeah, and he's breeding with that now. They paid a lot of money for that horse, and his wife's also an enthusiast.
Oh yes, lovely lady as well.
Beautiful lady, and yeah, they both got quite involved in the racing and now on the breeding side. And yeah, great poker player, always plays all the events.
And actually, it's unusual not to see his Mrs. sat nearby.
Yes, she's normally right there with him, supports him all the time. And yeah, he's a hell of a nice man.
To boot.
Yeah, on the...
And I sure bet Jamie doesn't mind. I mean, Jamie's in a wheelchair, but that doesn't stop him, man. He's got sports cars, all sorts of stuff.
No,
he's out there, eh?
I mean, and he's got such a great personality. I mean, the other night we were playing, and we were playing at Monty actually, and oh, nice hand there.
Cowboys.
JP's picked up a really good hand here.
And his misbehaving is going to pay off now.
Yeah, yeah. It's under the game.
What's his sizing here, Michael?
What has he got? Is this flat?
My word. Sneaky, huh?
A little bit dangerous. Got Clive now, 2s and 5s. Oh, you got 3 pairs here.
sorry, we lost the sound for a minute there. So JP's limped here. Seems to have paid off for him. JP's going to bet here.
2,200.
Clive would be thinking to himself, what did he hit there? What was he calling pre-flop with? He must have ace king. My pair might be good here. You know, he could be thinking anything.
Sure.
Clive's going to come along, and I think Jamie's going to follow suit, so.
Yeah, you see that limp has caused a little bit of confusion there. And now he doesn't know if he's ahead or not.
Nine's a good card for JP, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clive will be away now. You'll have to put him on an overpair, I think. Or maybe he's hit his set or something.
Still getting quite good value, 3.5k into a 14.5k.
Yeah, for sure.
So if Clive calls without a doubt, Jamie's going to be right behind him.
Looks like it's just a flat call he's carving out there.
Jamie going to get rid of his points.
Okay. 2 on the river would be pretty sick, huh? That's a re-raise from Clive, eh?
Ah, okay, that's why Jamie got off.
Yeah.
It's hard to see because you actually see the chips and then they only bring up the actual thing on the screen afterwards, eh?
Yeah. That's how it has to be, because the dealer calls what's there, and then we have to put it in.
Okay.
Jamie's going to be sick.
Yeah, Jamie's going to puke. And this could go check, check. No, Clive's going to carry on with his story on the turn. And he's going to bet us.
I'm interested to see. I don't think
JP can fold.
I don't think he gets JP off his
No,
hands.
he can't
Not
get
a
JP
chance.
off his hand. And but obviously JP also underrepresented. No,
Check.
Okay. JP also underrepresented the king, so Clive could have tried to put a bet in thinking he's going to get him off.
I think Clive will be happy that he didn't re-pop that on the river there. But that's what. So I think JP was setting the trap there. I don't think he put Clive on a hand.
No, definitely. He was going to snap him. Anyway, it was lovely sitting. I'm going to go and take a walk around.
Okay, buddy. And thanks for your time.
No, thank you. And
All right,
I
China.
hope everybody out there enjoys the Monsterjam as much as we do and the card stream. And yeah, get yourselves over tomorrow to, like I said, there'll still be a lot of play in this high roller.
Okay, buddy. Thanks, Mikey. See you soon. Cheers, buddy. Bye.
Big line.
So, welcome to Rex Online.
Call. Call.
So Clive with the sixes calls here. Jamie calls. So just a limp so far. Kevin with the jack 3 on the button gets rid. Haggai with the 5-4 suited. In the smalls, probably just going to complete here, yeah. And the action will be with JP. Looks like a knuckleball to me. Let's see if he just checks it. And JP checks. Flop comes King, King, Jack. That's going to slow everybody down.
Check. 1,000.
Clive with the sixes. That's a bet of 1,000, I believe. Looks like more, actually, but...
Small blind. For 8.
So Mr. Vicky Suku is online. Vicky was with us the other day. Clive with the Queen 6 here, 800 a call. And the word on the street is we're going to be in our beds tonight before 4 a.m. There's the thing. Quite unique. Maybe we'll get some sleep and the drillers will not drill in the hotel. Jeepers. So Kevin may be going to raise this up here, I think. I think Kevin's enjoying wearing that hood. That's a raise to 3-2. Fold from Haggai. JP 2-8 a call. You can see his cards. Honey Apple will be very quiet this evening. Obviously not getting any cards. Clive has 3-bet this to 15k with his Queen 6. I think Kevin's going to call this off. Kevin chatting to Clive, looking for information. Kevin calls, and he's going to get rid of this, and he's going to let these two guys battle it out. Six-two, King. Clive flops a pair here. He's going to rep the big pair, I'm sure.
Check.
He checks. Checks it back. Kevin makes a pair of jacks here. So he takes the lead in the hand. So a check, and then Clive decides to continue the story. I think Kevin's going to call this off. Indeed he does, and we're going to see a river. 10 of clubs, no help to either player. The board does come a bit straight here, but Kevin's got a lock on this. Clive first to act under the gun. Is Clive going to continue the story? He checks it back, and Kevin will take this down. And the rich get richer. Kevin is leading the way very much so on our feature table. Well done, Kevin. 315,000. Remember, starting stack was 150, so very deep. None of these players in any danger at this time. So Jamie Viella under the gun here. So Jamie's called this off. We didn't see his cards, but Kevin is called with the Queen 9 suited. JP's trying to make a decision what to do here. Looks like he just calls also. Flop comes ace 5-2. We didn't see Jamie's cards here, so looks like it's checking round to him. Jamie checks, Kevin checks, JP with the option here. JP's been quite aggressive this evening. King on the turn. And Henny Apple's picked up the flush here. Gets the check mark. Looks like JP's having a stab at this. So Henny raised it up to 10, and it looks like Henny raised it to 10, not JP. It was called off. The other guys are drawing dead, they don't realise it. Here comes in the bets, Clive gets out of the way, JP's also out of the way, and Henny will pick up the pot.
I think I'm going to play some. In his line, we have play some. Anytime anybody says that he's not anywhere, when he was standing outside. And I feel when that man's down, they kick him. So I put the Zurich like sugar.
Noel calls. So the action's with JP.
Raise 1-8. Call.
Clive calls. Noel also calls. JP calls. So we'll be 4 ways to the flop.
Check. 6,000.
Okay, we've got a new hand here. Under the gun is Kevin Khalil, 4-2. They're in the muck. Haggai with the 10-9 off. Already folds. JP folds.
Raise 1-8.
And a raise from Henny and a cut-off. 5's on the button, 1-8's a call. That's a call by the look of it.
Call.
Jamie Villela, ace-4 call. I suspect Noel will come along here as well.
Call.
That's a call. Jack 8-5, 2 clubs. So Jamie flops nicely for his flush draw here. Jack for Noel. And the 9-8 says a pair also for Henny.
Call.
Clive's not going anywhere either.
Call.
He's got a gut shot.
Raise 10,000.
And Noel pops it up to 10 grand. Clearly sending out a message here. Top pair, top kicker.
Normally all look at the one bluff.
Any suggestion we're all looking for a club here? Trying to find out if everybody's on a flush draw. And Eddie will fold this.
Call. Call.
So king on the turn. So Noel's still with the best hand here. Jamie checks. And I think Jamie called here. He gets no reward on the river, unfortunately. And Noel will take down the pot, 49k.
I didn't realize it was going to be
She heard you.
That's okay, I heard you, I heard you.
She apologized.
I'm sorry. Please, sorry, Gary.
How you doing?
So Elaine, I'm working on pronunciation here. Rinjivas. Good evening, fellas and girls. Love the cricket ball. What's the story behind that? I think Clive's just a cricket fan. He calls it his antidote. It's his lucky charm. He's had it for years and years. I actually don't know if it's the same one or what, but for as long as I've known Clive, he's had a cricket ball in his bag. He's got a little aeroplane as well sometimes that he uses. So we've got about 11 minutes to run on the level, and then we're going to bag and tag for the night, as far as I know. That's what the program says. And then we come back at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Late registration up to level 11.
Complete the hand yawn and then stop dealing, please. Complete the hand yawn and then stop dealing. Please put your hand up once you're ready.
Say four hands.
Going for the stop,
Say
please.
four more hands.
So they're going to do the draw for the 3-5-4-5.
Going for the stop.
That is it. Finish the hand.
2-5 king. Nobody has a king.
1,000.
So the 5 of Kevin is good here. And he folds. And the wall will pick up the pot. So they'll have paused the clock, I'm sure. So for the folks watching at home, that's Eugene Duplessis, and that's his stack. And from what I understand, that's approaching 600,000 from 150,000 starting. So Eugene is rolling along very, very nicely there. So well done to him. Still waiting to find out. Good camera work there, Jake. In fact, we can watch this hand. We can put it up on screen even. No, it's finished, I think. Yeah, the hand's finished. That's a pity. We could have watched that hand. Never mind. Next time.
They're waiting for to finish up.
So what's happening here, folks, is we're waiting for the all the tables in the high roller to finish. There'll then be a draw for 3, 4, or 5 hands to be played.
Have your papers quickly. We're going to now draw for hands to see how many hands you have to complete the evening. When you're done, we will bag up our chip sleeves. This right, we're going to very steady on your chip bag and your chip set. Don't worry about the seat in your table. We're going to do a complete table redraw. Tomorrow we will return at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. return tomorrow, and straight after this we will be at 25, 50, 100 PLO day. Anyone wants to say that there is a list already, you're welcome. Monsterjam and also the son who's our current champion, who was the player of the year last year. Let's give a nice round of applause. Mr. Sun, player of the year last year. Well done, Mr. Sun. Won himself a nice prize. And he drew 4. He drew a 4.
So that's 4 hands. We have 4 hands.
Press the button, 4 hands.
Off and running. So what we do is find out where the button is. That's on the well. So that's hand number 1. Hand number 2 on Kevin. Hand number 3 will be on Haggai, and hand number 4 will be on JP. So when the button gets back to JP, they will bag and tag.
By you, Jack. I think so. I'm going to try to check this button. I've got JP's button and class big blood. That's a bit stupid, eh? I'm not interested.
Penny folds. Clive with the jack forward. He's going to come out and call, I think. Jamie folds. Noel folds. Kevin with the king queen will come along for sure here, I'm sure. Nobody want to get too frisky with their chips now as the bag tag approaches.
Raise 1-6.
1-6 is the raise from Kevin. Brings a fold from Haggai. No call from Haggai.
Call.
Jack 7 king 2 hearts. Kev's king high is ahead. He's first to act. He decides to check. And the bet comes out from Clive with the jack here.
3-6. It's a bet. Raise 11-2. Main event.
Three's no help. See Clive's outs at the top of the screen there. Kevin decides to fire this time.
2,500.
And a good fold there by Clive. He tried to get the hand and he found out what he needed to know. As we get Miss Tina Taylor bursting out of the speakers around us. So this is hand number 2 of the 4 that program for the rest of the evening.
Raise 2-1.
And I want to take it out of me.
So Annie's raised it up here. We didn't see his cards, unfortunately. Clive is called,
Call.
and Noel is called, and Kevin is folding. That guy folds. JP gets out of the way. So the flop is 3-8, 2 hearts, 7 of clubs. Unaware of Henny's hand. Looks like it's a bit of a race on the other two.
1,000.
Up and down straight draw for Clark. 2 overs for Noel. Clive bets 4K with his up and down straights. Looks like Kenny's giving it up. Yeah, that's good. The other flush draw. He had a straight draw with a backdoor flush draw is what he had. So we're coming to hand number 3 of the 4 for the evening. So Valentina Sabanda says, Gary, can I ask, do players play differently on the feature table knowing their cards are being seen and scrutinized against other players who aren't on the feature table? Well, first and foremost, I think the answer to that is yes and no. It depends on the individual. Some people are affected by the bright lights and the TV cameras. Some people aren't. Some people are that good that they actually play differently when they're under scrutiny and their cards are heads up. And I know some of those people I've spoken with, and other people say it doesn't bother them, they just play on. All I do know is it's an education sitting here for 100 hours every session, every tour stop. It certainly helped my game knowing how these guys play. And hopefully that answers your question, because it's not a definitive answer. Every player is different, of course. And what I would say is that players have to sign off a set of rules and regulations and agree for their images and their cards to be displayed before they can play on the feature table. And it is a random selection as well. So hopefully, Valentina, team, I've answered your questions there. Don't know if I have, but it's a fairly long-winded answer to a fairly simple question. But the answer is yes and no, depending on the individual. But thank you for your question. We appreciate you.
700.
Clint Marsh online. The Blaster from PE's online. That guy 3 bets here, 5-2. And he gets that through. Googie very steady here, 193,000. Jamie on starting stack. In the wild just under starting stack. But Kevin continues to be the guy with all the chips here. And I do believe this is the last hand of the evening on the feature table. I think this is hand number 4 of the 4. And the other tables are bagging and tagging, I'm sure, shortly. A nice early finish for the players, and more importantly for the team management and the guys here at Cardstream. Even when you finish watching, they'll still be here uploading the last 30 minutes and making sure that YouTube gets it all on there. That guy folds. JP won't get involved this late in the evening, last hand of the night. JP's thinking, yeah? Maybe he's thinking others don't want to get involved. Precisely what he's doing. That's a raise to 3.5. And he'll get out of the way in the small here. Yep. Clive decides he's coming along with the Jack 9. 2 players to the flop. Just so everybody knows, the bags will be tagged and there will be a redraw overnight. And we're open till level 11 tomorrow for our entries and re-entries. Ace King 10. JP reps a big hand. And I'm pretty sure that was hand number 4, and that's a rep, as they say. So, to everybody out there in the internet land, we're going to bid you a nice early good night here. It's about 20 past 12 in the morning, just after midnight. And we're going to sign off. Everybody get an early night. We're back here, just checking now. 1 p.m. Late registration to the end of level 11. And then there'll be a 15-minute break every 2 levels. And the levels will be 6 minutes after level 11. So we will increase the length of the levels. Okay, signing off here from Carnival City in Brakpan. The Card Stream team, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good sleep.
Couple of days of poker, we finally have a winner. A deal was done, but our trophy winner and the title winner is Mr. Abdul Issa. Abdul, first of all, well done. A grind.
Thank you. Yes, it was a terrible grind.
It's been a really, really long day. You guys had a long day yesterday and today. Did any of the fatigue take any play into how the game ended and what happened towards the end?
Not really. It was quite a stressful day, but we managed to pull it off.
And you had quite a strong final table. It took a really, really long time to get to final table, but after that it went pretty quickly. What was the final table like? Who were your toughest opponents?
Well, the most toughest was between Bozo and Solia, and I'm glad Solia had to leave early, so he gave us a chance. Yes, true.
Well, you're not the first. It's not the first time you're winning a trophy with MJPT, but this one is certainly different. And you're telling me earlier that there's a nice little spot already saved for it in the cabinet.
Already done. Done and dusted. I'm sure my wife will get it ready.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. Any other events you're taking part in later in the week?
What's tomorrow? The Grand Slam? Yes, definitely. I'm there.
Okay, great. Well, we'll see you then. Hopefully your luck continues then. As for you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. As Abdul said, the Grand Slam's off tomorrow. That's another awesome event. Lots of high-stakes poker action taking place. Follow us on the stream, YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can also catch all of our updates on our social media pages, and of course the live updates on mjpt.co.za. We will see you guys tomorrow. Couple of days of poker, we finally have a winner. A deal was done, but our trophy winner and the title winner is Mr. Abdul Issa. Abdul, first of all, well done. A grind.
Thank you. Yes, it was a terrible grind.
It's been a really, really long day. You guys had a long day yesterday and today. Did any of the fatigue take any play into how the game ended and what happened towards the end?
Not really. It was quite a stressful day, but we managed to pull it off.
And you had quite a strong final table. It took a really, really long time to get to final table, but after that it went pretty quickly. What was the final table like? Who were your toughest opponents?
Well, the most toughest was between Bozo and Solia, and I'm glad Solia had to leave early, so he gave us a chance. Yes, true.
Well, you're not the first. It's not the first time you're winning a trophy with Mjpt, but this one is certainly different. And you were telling me earlier that there's a nice little spot already saved for it in the cabinet.
Already done and dusted. I'm sure my wife will get it ready.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. Any other events you're taking part in later in the week?
What's tomorrow? The Grand Slam? Yes, definitely. I'm there.
Okay, great. Well, we'll see you then. Hopefully your luck continues then. As for you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. As Abdul said, the Grand Slam's off tomorrow. That's another awesome event. Lots of high-stakes poker action taking place. Follow us on the stream, YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can also catch all of our updates on our social media pages. And, of course, the live updates on mjpt.co.za. We will see you guys tomorrow. Couple of days of poker. We finally have a winner. A deal was done, but our trophy winner and the title winner is Mr. Abdul Issa. Abdul, first of all, well done. A grind.
Thank you. Yes, it was a terrible grind.
It's been a really, really long day. You guys had a long day yesterday and today. Did any of the fatigue take any play into how the game ended and what happened towards the end?
Not really. It was quite a stressful day, but we managed to pull it off.
And you had quite a strong final table. It took a really, really long time to get to final table, but after that it went pretty quickly. What was the final table like? Who were your toughest opponents?
Well, the most toughest was between Bozo and Solly, and I'm glad Solly had to leave early, so he gave us a chance. Yes, true.
Well, you're not the first. It's not the first time you're winning a trophy with Mjpt, but this one is certainly different. And you were telling me earlier that there's a nice little spot already saved for it in the cabinet.
Already done and dusted. I'm sure my wife will get it ready.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. Any other events you're taking part in later in the week?
What's tomorrow? The Grand Slam? Yes, definitely. I'm there.
Okay, great. Well, we'll see you then. Hopefully your luck continues then. As for you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. As Abdul said, the Grand Slam's off tomorrow. That's another awesome event. Lots of high-stakes poker action taking place. Follow us on the stream, YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can also catch all of our updates on our social media pages. And, of course, the live updates on mjpt.co.za. We will see you guys tomorrow. Couple of days of poker. We finally have a winner. A deal was done, but our trophy winner and the title winner is Mr. Abdul Issa. Abdul, first of all, well done. A grind.
Thank you. Yes, it was a terrible grind.
It's been a really, really long day. You guys had a long day yesterday and today. Did any of the fatigue take any play into how the game ended and what happened towards the end?
Not really. It was quite a stressful day, but we managed to pull it off.
And you had quite a strong final table. It took a really, really long time to get to final table, but after that it went pretty quickly. What was the final table like? Who were your toughest opponents?
Well, the most toughest was between Bozo and Solly, and I'm glad Solly